PoppyK, create, craft and make paper jewelry and challenges to break. PoppyK, create, craft and make PoppyK, subscribe, like, comment and share.
Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name's Katie. I hope you are doing well. Well, today's video is inspired by something that I've done quite a while ago. I will link the video that I did below. It was with Tyvek paper that I did it, but this one is literally just with normal book page. And I was inspired to do this by Artie Mays. She's doing I can't remember what it is, BoHo and Beyond or something like that, collaboration with someone, and she was making BoHo Beads. So I was like, oh, I haven't done that for a while, and I've literally just finished I've moved my craft room around, so I thought today is just as good a day as any just to show you how I have achieved this. So that's what we're going to do. So if you want to know how to make these, then just keep on watching. Okay, so first we are going to use some book page. Now if you do your junk journaling, you will have plenty of spare book pages, just depending on how big you want to make your beads. I'm going to do this one at 3/4 of an inch. I'll just bring that down here. 3/4 of an inch, just depending on how much you want to, how big you want your beads. We'll do this one at an inch, and then go down the center of here. And as you can see, all you're doing is cutting strips. This is very simple. There are lots of templates on Pinterest. If you've got any cutting machines or anything like that, then there are cutting files to cut out certain shapes for different beads. So we've got 5 sections here, and what I'm going to do is we are going to roll up our beads, and we are going to use a tiny bit of glue to glue everything together. So we will start with this one here. What I do is I get my paper, and this is just a quilling tool. You don't need to use a quilling tool, but it just depends on how big you want your hole. We'll go down just a little bit. You want to make sure that you're doing it quite tight. Hold on to that, grab your glue, and then just add a tiny little line of glue on your paper, keeping everything quite taut. Okay. And then a little bit more glue. Until you get to the end. And then what I like to do is just literally just grab the glue and pop it on. Like so. And once you've got your bead, you should just take that off and give it a good roll, making sure everything is all glued. So if it isn't, you can just go back in, because sometimes you just miss out that edge. Put that on and smooth that down. So there's one. We should do another one. In fact, I'll do this one. I have a needle here, knitting needle. So if you don't have a quilling tool, you can use a knitting needle or a pencil or something like that. It's just exactly the same process. It's just that your central hole will be wider. So bring that down. Glue. You don't want too much glue, you just want to make sure that your bead is going to sit together. Keeping it taut, rolling it down. And then keep going right to probably about 1 inch or ½ inch to the end. Add quite a bit to the edge. And we are going to be adding wire and beads to this later. So as you can see, I'm just rolling that round and then pull that off. And as you can see, we've got 2 beads with 2 very different sized central holes. So that's up to you how you want to do your beads, but I'm going to carry on and do these next 3 and then I shall come back. Okay, so I've got the beads all set up and ready. So I've now just acquired some pieces of fabric, not a lot, you don't need a lot, just little pieces of fabric. You could use like sari fabric if you wish, which I might do with that one, I don't know. But we'll just do a couple of these and then we can get on to the wire work. So I've got this lovely cotton kind of broad rayon glaze type lace, and I'm just using Elmer's glue, and all I'm going to do is put a little line of that on there, grab my piece of fabric and we'll just run that round. I'm going to cut. You only need a very small amount, and then add your glue to the other side. Okay, and then just glue everything together, making sure that it all sort of sticks down. If you've got a fabric glue, then fabulous, but as I say, we're going to be wrapping wire around it, so it's just really there to be held ever so slightly. So there's one. We'll do a bit of sari on one. I might actually do that on there because then you get to see the words. So I'm just going to put tiniest bit of glue just on there. Grab a piece of fabric, pop that on, bring that round. Just going to cut there. And then there we go, just gluing that on. So that bit didn't want to go down. It will, because I will make it. There we go. You will go down. There. Right, so I'll carry on and do these 4 as I've done these 2, and then we'll be back. Okay, so now we're going to come to decorating it. And what I've got here is just a whole range of findings. I've got jump rings, I have got head pins, eye pins, there's beads, I've got my 0.4 gauge wire, and these garment hooks if you want to use those as well. So we'll start off while they sort of still dry, just with your plain one, so you don't have to put any I'm not doing that bit yet. We don't have to put any fabric on it if you don't want to. So I'm just going to grab an eye pin, and I think for this one we'll probably predominantly go with these blue beads. So I'm going to put on the blue bead, pop on the paper bead, and then we'll put this bead on as well. And we could do that, or I might try the blue. I think it might be too big, but we can always try it. That's what we're here for. Yeah, too big. Thought so. Right. So pop that on, pop that on, and pop that on. So we're going to make another loop on the other side. So you're going to use your round nose pliers for this. And I'm just going to cut that down. I usually like to leave it probably about 1 centimetre. The way I gauge that is from the top of my index finger to where the bead is. So I'm literally just going to cut about there. Perhaps getting my glasses would be a good idea, because then I'll be able to see what I'm doing. And then grab your round nose pliers, making sure that your wire is flush. Bring that in, and then you want to just go into the base and create a little loop. So we've got that so far. Now we're going to come in with the wire. I usually cut probably about 12 inches per bead, depending on the size of the beads that you're using. I've probably cut way too much, but it's better to have too much than not enough. And then I'm going to leave about 1 inch so I can keep a hold of it, and I'm just going to wrap this wire around a few times at the top of the loop. Then bring that round and do a couple of wraps at the underneath. So we can cut that off, this little tail as well. Now we don't need that anymore. Just cut, I'll discard that later. Okay, so what are we going to use? I think I'm going to go with these orange beads. So I'm just going to thread one on, hold the bead in place to where you want it, and then wrap your wire in a haphazard way. That's why you need quite a lot, because you're going to be doing a lot of wrapping. Pop your bead on there, and try not to sort of get them so they're always in the same place, if you know what I mean. Filling in the gaps. So you're basically colouring in with wire and beads. So just pop that on there, hold it in place. This is just the very basics. Obviously you can then let your imagination run riot, because I mean, I would probably, if you wanted to make them extra boho, you could paint the book page, you could jelly print on the book page, use pre-printed papers that you've already got. So probably just 1 or 2 more beads. and then go around there, go around there, a couple of times around there, and if you want to use the rest, you can then go up and around all your beads till you get to the top. And then I'm just going to use my flush cutters and get rid of that. And there we've got one bead. So you could then add something to the end of that. So I'm just going to come in here with one of these little coins. Get a jump ring. Let's have a look at the cut size we need. Just get a small one. Use your pliers to open these up. Now when you're opening up jump rings, always remember, open them up north to south, never east to west, because you'll never, you compromise the integrity of the circle, and we don't want to do that. Pop that back into there and back north to south. If you've got two, probably easier. And there is your bead. I shall grab a garment pin, and I'm going to go with green beads, I think. I'm just going to, oops, far too many came out then. Add some garment beads to the garment pin. You're not going anywhere. 3 on each side, so pop that on. Garment pin is optional, obviously. You can always just pop it onto a jump ring and away you go. And there is your first boho bead. Now this has got nothing on it, remember, this is just the book page. So you could put that on top of a bookmark or something like that. So I actually, have I got some bookmarks? Ah, I have, right here. So you could then, because you've got the book page, you could add it to a bookmark. And there you go. You can pop that on your bookmark. It's probably better with a jump ring. But just an idea as to what you can do with them. To decorate your journals, make jewellery. So let's do this one, I think. So I'm going to use these. I got these from when I did my collaboration with Rocks and Chains. So they do a monthly subscription box, and this is what was left. Sorry, can you see my big head? In fact, we'll do one without a charm on the end. So this is just a head pin now. Pop that through, and then pop that onto there. And those pliers. Just trim a tiny bit of that off. And you can customize these to the colours of your journal or your whatever you're making. Just leave that there. So now we'll get some more wire. Again, this is 0.4. Nearly got away with me. And start from this side. I'm just going to go in where the bead and the paper begin. And I'm just going to wrap some wire around first, and then we can make our way back down. And this time I'm going to use these seed beads. And we're just, it's quite good actually, because the lace has got its own like little vessels, if you like, to rest the beads in. Can you see you've got all these nice little holes that the beads will rest in. Just keep adding and adding and adding until you feel happy. Remember, they're Bohemian beads, so you can decorate as much as you like. That's the whole point of Bohemian, is, you know, anything like me, I'm definitely a maximalist. More is more is more is more. There we go. I'm just going to run that around. Give that a little chop off. Now, as you can see, there's a tiny little bit of wire sticking up I didn't really get rid of before, so I'm just going to mold that into the bead. So we've got that. Garment pin, and you can just add that on, and that is how I have created all of these different beads. You can use fuzzy, like this sort of stuff, the eyelash trim, all sorts of things. If you've got an old pair of jeans or anything like that, you could even use that as your base as well. So that is my boho beads for you. There are many other ways of creating these beads. This is no way, you know, an original idea. I was just inspired, as I say, by Artie May's and the boho journal that she's doing at the minute, and also that I've just sorted out my craft room and moved it around and all this sort of thing. But I will do a separate video on how I've changed my craft room and do a bit of a tour in a few weeks' time. So thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and if you've made these beads as well, I'd love to see how you've made them. So please do go and follow me over either on Instagram, TikTok, or obviously here, and let me know. Have a great day. Bye.